What's going on, everybody? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. Welcome to another episode of 10 Questions with a Modeler, where tonight I have the AMC podcast guys. And we got down here, sitting down below me right here. God help him. You below Pappy. Got Jason over at KRD, over at KRD Race Cars and Designs, and glad to have him in here tonight. And right down here in that corner down here, the greatest producer in the world, Mr. Bruce from Bruce's Electric World. And this guy sitting right over here is my little buddy from Florida. Where are you at, Mike? Are you
I'm
sitting
over
right there?
here.
There he
I'm
is.
over
There
here.
he is.
Look, I'm standing up. Can you see me now?
Oh, there he is. Okay, now we got him. I knew he was going. Somebody's going to be called short now. We got Mike. It's a scale model outlaw over here. The outlaw, better known as.
What's happening, everybody?
Good to see everybody tonight. Appreciate y'all coming in and doing this. And we got an alumni. Mike is on your third.
This will be my third one. Yep.
This is your third 10 questions with a modeler. Mike was fortunate enough to be at the Acme show last October, and we got to have him in here. Sat down with the panel, had a great time too, I might add. And at JacksCon down in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's always great to have an alumni in here. That way, somebody knows what's fixing to happen. So, Mike, I promise not to make you cry like a Barbara Walters thing. So,
right, that's why I came in last, so I could be next to you, knowing that I don't have to be the first one to answer the questions. Yeah, I'm an alumni. I'm smart enough to get out of the way.
We're gonna put you on the caboose tonight. We're gonna let Jason lead off. We're gonna get Bruce down there in the corner, and you'll bring up tail end Charlie. So
That's it.
But if y'all aren't subscribed to any of these fine channels right here, these are great YouTube content promoters. Also on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the podcast they put on is great. And also, Mini Mike does a Sunday build, which he hand selects builders out there in the community, invites them in, does a build along, and actually I get a little building done when I'm on it and when I'm just in the chat. So, but it's always a great time. But I'll drop their channel content down below. That way y'all can, if y'all aren't subscribed to them, get subscribed to them. Awesome content creators.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Well, quite welcome, gentlemen. Well, always glad to have y'all in here as well. All right, I've been wanting to do this for a while, as everybody knows. I've been trying. It's hard to get 4 schedules, much less mine, together. So, really do appreciate y'all's time. All right, question number 1. Excuse me. What was the weirdest response you have received after telling someone about the model car hobby? About you, Jason.
The weirdest response is ain't you too old to be playing with those toys?
What was your I know you know what my response would have been.
I'm like, toys? What toys?
These are not toys. These are I mean, works of art. I mean, it's a blank canvas once we get it in our hands. So
yeah. The big thing is the engineers
in some of our hands, and when it gets in my hands, it kind of turns into a mess.
It's amazing when you explain it to other engineers at work how they're just lost. They're like, model cars? What are you talking about? And then you start showing them, and then once I've shown a couple of them like 3D printed parts, they're like, oh, whoa, there's some technology in this. Oh, now they're intrigued. So it's enjoyable when you can spark it in their eyes, you know.
Yep, and then you see it, and they see it, and then they, then they're like, "Wow, okay, how can I get into this?" So, Bruce, how about you?
Well, I've been doing this since 1966, and I've been telling people for years I build model cars, and I still play with them occasionally because that's what we used to do. We built them, then played with them, and some of them had accidents. Fireworks were
no fireworks were involved, was it?
Yeah, no. Just kitchen tables and ditch banks and
BB guns.
BB guns.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was sometimes even my age now, because I'm 71, they go, you do what? Because I was telling one of the girls at the doctor's office the other day, I said, yeah. I said, I got to be able to see to build a model car. She goes, model cars? What's that? I go, well, it's these little plastic kits you buy, and you put them together, glue them and paint them and make them look awesome. She goes, oh, okay. I'll have to check into that. So I don't know what she did, but anyway, yeah. It's you get some raised eyebrows at my age. Going, you still play with toys?
Dang right we do. Ain't nothing you can say about it either. Keeps us sane.
Yeah. It's
Mikey, how about you?
I think the weirdest response I ever got was, "Yo, dude, you got any of that red glue? I need to give me some of that red."
Wow.
No, I'm going to echo what Jason and Bruce said. They, you get that raised eyebrow. And what I try to do, well, first and foremost, get the raised eyebrow, and the next thing you know, you're pulling out your phone, showing pictures of what you do, and then that's when they get really interested and they're like, "Oh, wow, dude, that's really cool." But I try to draw the parallel to break the ice. Like if you've ever seen these die-cast cars that you see at the Walmarts and whatever. So I step to there to try to cross them over to. We do kind of the same thing, only we're putting them together, not buying them put together. But we're like, I know as modelers, or I can at least speak for myself, and I feel like you guys are in the same boat. But as modelers, we're like new parents, right? Every time we get a model done, we're taking pictures of it, and then if you do talk to another fellow modeler, you're like, look, let's see, look at that. Let me get through these stupid family pictures. Dang it, got family in here too. Oh look, there's my model.
Yeah, there's a model, by the way. But yeah. I guess I wouldn't say it's really a weird response. I did say when we were at JaxCon. God, when did we go? It's been so long. Seems like
February.
Thank you. Excuse me. It was Tom, all the crew that was there. Mike knows who I was there. We got to lunch. This was the Friday we got down there, and the girl that was taking our order, she was like, "Are y'all in town for an event?" And I said, "Yeah, we're in town for a model event." And she looked at me and she said, "Are y'all models?" Jim Marshall, Styrene Monkey was like, "Yes," and I did all their work.
I'm a hand model.
And I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God."
Mind you, that was right about the time that Sarge walked in.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But really, I mean, I don't really get weird response. I mean, just the answer that I've heard, from all of y'all is pretty much, well, you play with toys. I don't consider them toys.
No.
They might have been toys when we were kids, but now, just like I was saying earlier, we're given a blank canvas in a box, and we get to turn it into art. And if I've done my job, I wouldn't say a job, but if I've taken it, just like Mike, I'm gonna piggyback off what he was saying. Well, like new parents, with our cameras, after we finish our build, we take picture, and when I show them to somebody that's not model, that's not in the hobby or anything, and they go, "Golly, how you got all these cars in your garage?" I'm sitting there going, "You think that's a real car? I've done my job."
Yeah.
If I fool somebody into thinking that's a real car, I've done my job. So, but yeah, I've had guys at work. I'll be showing them. I remember I did a '69 Camaro Pro Street one time, and the guy said, "Wow," he said, "What will that thing do in the quarter?" I'm sitting there going, "Well, if I rear back far enough, it might get off about 20 miles per hour if I throw it." That's a model. Yeah, but yeah,
that's funny.
All right, question number 2. How much do you mock up on a bill, Jason?
Everything. The whole car.
All right. With that question, what do you? I mean, I know you halfway or assemble it. What do you use? Do you use white glue, things like that?
So So depends. Like I'll say for right now, the USAC Dart. It's got brass and plastic, so everything is white glued, but the brass stuff, in order to hold that, is all pinned. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so you have to pin all that, put all the holes in there, get it to fit snugly, and then that way there you can test fit constantly, back and forth. It's a lot of back and forth when you're building a brass cage to fit inside the body. So,
Yep. How about you, Bruce?
Test fit, test fit, test fit. I can't say it enough. Everything,
Me either.
through the whole process. I mean, I use blue painter's tape. I use white glue. I use Tic Tac.
Yeah, Tic Tac. Yeah, man, I love that.
Oh yeah, I mean Tic Tac. I put the car together and I set it right here on my desk. Literally, it's taped and glued and Tic Tac together, so I can see what the fitting issues are. Which means test fit, test fit, test fit. You know, and you see what you have to trim or not trim, or each step you got to scoosh around to make work. Like Jason said, you know, he pins stuff. Sometimes I've been known to do that too. So I can't say, you know, mocking up and test fitting enough. I say it in all my videos a lot. So
so the Tic Tac, I forgot all about that stuff. That stuff works great on the factory kit model motors.
Bruce, thank you. I was looking all around for mine.
I heard you.
I was over here. I was like, I know it's in here somewhere. It's probably,
I heard you.
It's in this junk drawer over here. I'm like, God Almighty, I can't believe I ain't got this stuff. How about you, Mike?
Yep, I will, even if it's out of the kit or out of the box rather, I'm still going to mock it all up. And it does two things for me. It helps me to come up with an idea about paint, where you're going to see this, where you're going to not see that. And how many of us, you know, really are building out of the box. We're using 3D printed motors. We're using 3D printed wheels, you know, so you want to get that stuff all done before you paint it. So if you do have to make modifications, you're not screwing up your paint. You know, when you go to finally put it together, that everything's right. To answer your next question, I need to work on that pin thing. I don't do that enough. I've done it, but I need to do it more to follow Jason's lead. But this Aleene's tacky glue, I've had really good luck with it. I started out with the Elmer's glue, and I found that it just took so long to dry. This stuff it may take a little bit longer to dry than, say, quick cement or something like that, but it's not permanent, and you can wash it off with soap and water. And 9 out of 10 times, you can just peel it off and it's gone. Right?
Yeah, it's just a little bit
But
stringy.
You can also use Mod Podge.
Mock up.
Mod Podge too,
Yeah, Mod Podge works well too.
I use the Evergreen white glue because that dries. I think it's that's what Fred's got. Yeah, and Mike. Is
this no? This is Zap.
Got any?
That's Zap. Yeah, but
I use
what Mikey had. That's what I use the most.
I
that
use
stuff will dry pretty quick.
Yeah, that's it'll dry quick. Plus, it's easy. You know, once you get ready to break it down, you're starting to get ready to paint, prime, whatever. You can take tweezers; it pulls off. It's just a little bitty string. Which I use that. I use the poster tape, like what Bruce was showing a while ago. I've got.
The Tamiya's. Yeah.
I mean, I made this too, by the way. So you know.
Nice.
Neat.
You know, I'm an old crafty guy. You know, I made.
Look at
But yeah, blue tape. I have to turn. Y'all notice what my cutters are, right?
Yeah.
Razor blades.
Those aren't the company
OSHA
issued
approved.
safety knives.
Yeah, I was gonna say OSHA don't approve those.
We don't care about OSHA.
Yeah, I do that too. I like making a lot of my own tool holders and stuff. Why pay money for that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can make it, you gotta look at who I work for, but then again too, I've got a wood shop out here in my garage, which y'all seen that the other day, with my answer to Jason at Blue Ox's question. Everybody was like, we were hoping you were going to show the 67 Chevelle. Oh, God, really?
How many are you up to now? 50? 55? 60?
Somebody, I think Kim Sodergaard, Soda Pop, I think he counted 30, but that ain't all of them. That ain't all. He said I win though the most common kits that
Yeah.
you got one of each. So
Right.
I win. Anywho, oh God. Number 3. All right, Jason. What do you do with your spare or leftover parts after a build?
So I'm kind of a stickler for keeping boxes that are in good shape. So I throw them back in the box, and I try to, if somebody, that way it's categorized for me. So if somebody says, hey, I need a part from such and such kit, do you have any spare parts for one of those kits? It's already in that box. It's not all mixed up in, like one common box. So I generally do that. And if it gets to be, so I'll use my duster kits as an example. If I go through a bunch of those bodies or something like that, then I'll compile all the parts into one duster box, and then I'll get rid of the other boxes. But I generally keep them back in the original box to kind of categorize them and organize them that way.
What about you, Bruce?
I do the same thing because my viewing area is so small that I a lot of times change out the cars. So I put them back in the original box, put them back in the stack, and I take a new one out and put it in another case so I can look at it for a while. So yeah, I basically do the same thing. I don't throw any boxes away.
Oh my God! Anyway, we'll get to me in a minute. Mikey, I see where all yours goes. Right behind you.
Those are all empty boxes, by the way.
Those are all empty boxes. Echoing what Jason said, I started at that level and would keep them all in the boxes, and I just plain ran out of room. So I condensed it down in that I've got a good sized box for Ford stuff, Chevy stuff, Mopar stuff, and then I have drag racing stuff, or kind of took all those different boxes and kind of condensed them down. Now, I love Jason's idea. Like, if you got a part off of that 72 Duster, he can go to his 72 Duster box, where I got to go to my Mopar box and keep digging until I find it. But except for wheels and tires and 3D printed stuff, I've got those. You can get them in a lot of different places. I get mine from Harbor Freight, but they're like those little nut and bolt organizers. These guys.
Oh yeah, yeah, those.
What did I get? I think I got these at.
I get the big one.
Hobby Lobby.
That's what I use.
Yeah. These guys work really good.
Let me show you. Well, that's right, Fred. Hit your microphone. Look at that price. Well, $2.99.
Yeah.
That was a Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby is the best place to buy those things cheap.
Oh God, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But
that's like my favorite store now.
Yeah, I know. Mine too. Yep. That's how Vicky keeps track of where I'm at. She'll look at all the receipts. Well, you went to Hobby Lobby today. Yep, sure did. Oh, you went to Hobby Town USA. Yep.
Know where all those craft stores are.
Yeah. But yeah, with I'm the same with y'all. I mean, my OCD kicks in, especially during a build. I mean, y'all have seen, pretty much, I try to keep my bench. I've got a part track right here there's pre-wired distributors. I mean, these are just the accessories on this wall right here. But when I get finished with a build, like we just all finished, well, some of us finished the USAC build.
I didn't.
All right, Jason, come on, wrap it up, brother.
We're working on it.
Putting the pressure on you, but
it's close, but it ain't
all
there.
of I took, there was some good, parts in there. I cut off what I want, and these little parts things that I've showed y'all right here. I went and bought a couple more this week, and I'll put some of the parts in there. But I have got one of these great big Tupperware tubs, like you put Christmas ornaments and crap in. I mean, This thing is 3 foot long, 1.5 foot deep, 2 foot wide, and I take sprues. And now I'm a member of the Acme Club. We're having our spring cleaning at the April meeting, and I'm taking that tub and I'm gonna tell everybody, clean this thing out. You get whatever you want. So. But yeah, I'll do that. But I do get rid of all my empty boxes. I do not. My instructions, my box art, it gets gone. Matt, I was telling Matt one day, look, see, and I said I throw my box art away. You thought I was You thought I'd shot the Pope? What?
What?
I was like, man, I
But
ain't.
people are like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lead to the demise that he had that day and have all his kits fall down on him one day. I was like, nah, dude, that ain't
That
happening
would
to
be
me,
a
buddy.
nice way to go, though.
It
Just
was.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
Mighty
seen
fresh.
guys that'll take the lids and because they'll fold
Cut
up
'em.
kind of inside themselves. I've seen them where
Yeah.
they'll take
Mm-hmm.
and make like wall art out of them. Put them in a
Yeah.
picture frame.
Yeah. There
Make
used
I
to be a
built this.
guy.
I built this kit when it came out. This is the original
God,
box.
that I was fixing
Wow.
to say that's the original
Wow.
box right there. I
It
know.
is.
You know how I noticed that, Bruce? It was because the AMT logo. Oh my!
Oh, yeah, look at
Wait a
that.
minute! Look at that! Oh my God,
25th
man!
anniversary. Yeah,
You
that's
just
that's
dated
old.
Yeah.
yourself. You just dated yourself, bro. Oh God! All right, where we at? Number 4. All right, Jason, do you save the instructions or box art after the build? I think you just answered this, but go ahead, answer it again.
Yep, I save the boxes to a certain point. The instructions I'll keep one of. So if there's a bunch of those usually go in the garbage, but you
Yeah.
only need one. Especially with me trying to get my kid to do this stuff more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer in these things lead into one-to-one cars. I really do. So if you put a child, whether it's 6 years old or 12 years old, whatever, and you give them the instructions, now they know what a cylinder head is. They know what the block is. They know what the transmission is.
Yep.
So I'm a firm believer that even to just leave them around, and if somebody brings their kid over here, I can give them instructions, and there you go. There's what my big car looks like blown apart,
Yep. There you go.
So,
Good job. Good job.
It's
Brucey,
in there.
I already know what your answer is. You
Yeah.
already, you just showed it.
Yeah, I save them
40-year-old.
all.
You saved it.
That's what's in that box is instructions.
Is it okay? All right. So
Yeah.
you definitely
I did
keep the
know.
instructions in the box art. I know Papa Z, Rick Zink. I know he keeps them also. I remember he and we've had that conversation several times.
Yeah, we have to.
Mikey, how about you, Mikey?
Nope. Unless it's a rare kit or some really really cool box art that I might want to turn into wall art one day. Instruction wise, once I'm done, they're definitely gone.
Yeah.
But no, I ran out of room 1,000 kits ago, so I'm trying to make room for stuff. But again, unless it's 1,000 empty boxes ago, I should say.
You can sell some of those.
I'll tell y'all a story about empty boxes here in a minute. But I'm the same way. Once I finish a kit, I may keep it a month. It may go out there on my bench, but the instructions, I thought instructions was just something to cover the table up with. I mean, y'all know I've never used instructions, but the box, I may keep it out there and once it gets in my way out there in the garage, forget about it. Forget about it. I go over, I break it down like I was when I was working in a grocery store. I'm like, yeah, throw it over, go over to the garbage can. But talking about empty boxes, one time I was reading. I like to read. I mean, I know I like reading books and stuff. So I picked up a book one time. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it was about the owners, the guys that created Home Depot, which was Bernie Marcus, Arthur Blank, Pat Farah, and Ken Langone. And Pat Farah, he was the marketing guy for Home Depot for years and did all the buying. And the first Home Depot store that was ever in the Georgia and the Atlanta area was over at they went and they bought out the old Zayres buildings, and they were having troubles, back in the startup of Home Depot, trying to get vendors, to bring in their products to Home Depot to get it started. Pat Farah come up with a great idea, and he was the marketing guru. He went and bought a bunch of empty boxes and put them on the shelves in Home Depots, making customers think that they had a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
And and everybody was just like, they were coming in there by droves and just buying. You got this, you got that, yeah. And people would come in, they were looking at that and going, oh, well, they've got this stuff always available. And then that led to another store and led to another store. now there's over. I know there's over 2,000 stores, but that
Yeah.
I cannot remember the name of that book, but it was a great read. But yeah, save your boxes. You might be billionaires one day, Mikey. Mikey, forget about it. Throw them all away, brother. Who was it? Who was it that said? I think it was Matthew. You know, we didn't get into this hobby to be millionaires.
No. Yeah, if you did, you got into it for the wrong reason.
Got into it for the wrong reason. Oh God. Okay, number 5, gentlemen. Jason, do you have a favorite 1-to-1 scale builder? And I mean that's the big cars.
Oh boy, that's tough. I do and I don't. I would have to say, as far as that goes, it's going to be a drag race guy, and that was Don Ness Racecraft, and he's unfortunately no longer with us. I learned a lot from hanging out in that guy's shop, and at that time, that's where I met Warren Johnson. Those cars, Warren Johnson's cars back in those days, yep, they were all built by Don Ness up here in Minnesota, because Warren was a Minnesota guy before he moved to Georgia.
Moved to Georgia, yep.
So, yeah, I would say Don Ness was and still is my favorite 1-to-1 builder.
Wow. How about you, Bruce?
Sorry to say, I got the short answer. I don't have any.
All right, Mikey.
Well, I'm gonna throw some people through a loop and say Smokey Unick. If you guys know Smokey, taking it back to the early NASCAR days, but his creativity and what he did and his personality. Of course, he was not far from me here in Ormond Beach, and just what his impact on NASCAR in the era that I really like NASCAR. You know, the early '60s all the way up to early 2000s. To me, that was the years of NASCAR that were great for me. But probably somebody that's more relevant that the listeners or viewers would understand. I'm a big Chip Foose fan. I know he's controversial, but I like a lot of his stuff, minus the Prowler that he made for Chrysler. That thing is ugly as homemade sin. But I think he was very innovative. In fact, if you guys have been following my channel, that Pacer that I started building when I first started my channel, that is inspired from a Chip Foose drawing of a Pacer. So, and if you guys don't know, Chip Foose, his dad, was a big shot at AMT models guy. He was a model guy.
I knew
Chip
that.
was a model guy. Yep.
You know how I knew that?
How's that?
Chip Foose had his the Savoy Auto Museum had Chip's collection up at the museum, which is right up above where we have the Acme Southern Nationals each year. And we're, as far as the Acme Club, we're involved with the Savoy Auto Museum heavily. We go up there, we do a lot with them. As far as throughout the year, we go up, we host making takes during car shows and stuff. But anyhow, long story short, Foose had some of his collection up there about 2 years ago. And one of our members had built all of the had built all the Foose Revell collection. And he got to go up there, and Chip, he had his picture taken with Chip. All his Chip Foose models were in a case at the same time that Chip had all of his 1-to-1 scale builds up there. And we all got to go up there and meet Chip. So that was just really cool, and that's how I found out that his dad was an AMT exec. So
yeah, his dad would build 1-to-1s, and that were to match the stuff. They either had him build it, they created it, at AMT, and then he would build the 1-to-1, or he would build the 1-to-1, and then they would create it. And of course, it's always cool to hear somebody with the weight that he carries, if you will, his popularity, to talk about model cars. So you get somebody of that standard or that level of popularity or whatever, talking about model cars. That's good for the hobby.
Yep.
And there may or may not be about half a dozen emails that have been sent to him asking him if he wants to be on the AMC live cast. But so far, that tree hasn't produced any fruit.
Well, if I happen to run up, if I ever cross paths with him again, I'll speak highly of y'all. So
there you go.
Because I'm pretty sure he remembered. He was actually when he saw the models that were built, he was very genuine, about what
Yep.
Jim.
And he's
It
building.
was, it was a good friend of mine too, Jim Shepard or James Shepard. He's the one he's a member of Acme, and he had him up there, and he was asking, a lot of us, and we were showing him pictures of our work, and he was just like amazed at the level of detail that we all put into this stuff. So
I watched
uh,
not to chase too many rabbits, but I watched an interview with him, and he tells a story about how he would be at the coffee table at his dad's shop over in the corner building a model of the
mhm.
car that was the real car that was right in front of him.
Yep, he was talking about that as well. So.
Yep.
My 1-to-1 scale builder of real cars, which I was fortunate enough to grow up here in the South, which y'all can't tell that by my accent, but probably the one that was the most instrumental for me was a well-known NASCAR driver, and I'll give y'all a little side story about him. He drove the old number 43, Richard Petty,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah. Because he grew up in Rondalma, North Carolina, which was not far from here, but each year we would go up to we'd take a trip to Cherokee, North Carolina, which is not too far from Rondalman. And one day, I was a kid. I remember we were sitting. Dad had a 1970 Chevy Impala, brand new. It was a 4-door. I think it was the first 4-door car he'd ever bought, Mom. But we were in vacation, on vacation in Cherokee, and we're sitting there at the red light in Cherokee, North Carolina, and I look over and I guess who's sitting beside of us in an old Plymouth station wagon. Richard Petty,
Right.
Kyle Petty, Linda Petty, the whole Petty family. And I'm just sitting there going, wow, there's Richard Petty. And they turn around and look and they wave. And that was it for me. I was hook, line, and sinker. I was a Petty fan,
Yeah.
even though my dad was a Chevy fan. But I've always admired, what they can do with what little they had
Back then.
Yes.
back then and be the dominant race team. And then as I got older, y'all can look this up. Richard, when the Hemi engine was so controversial with NASCAR, they banned the Hemi engine. They were like,
Yep.
oh. NASCAR said, no, y'all can't run that. So Richard was like, okay, fine. Hell with y'all. I'm not going to run NASCAR this year. I'm going to drag race with a
Yep.
Hemi.
Yep.
And he ran I can't remember the
Barracuda.
car. A what?
Barracuda.
Yep,
Barracuda.
Barracuda, and he was racing it at the local drag strip that back then it was an eighth of a mile. It's always been an eighth of a mile. Southeastern International Dragway here in Dallas, Georgia, and something on the front suspension broke. The car got out of control, went into the crowd, hurt a bunch, and killed one
One
kid.
Yep.
And that was it. After that happened, Richard told they carried the car back to Randleman and told them bury that car. I don't ever want to see it again. And
Yep.
that was the demise of that car. And he quit drag racing from then on out. And that is also something that he never talks about.
No.
You can bring that up in conversation to him, and he will not answer it. So, kind of
Some
I
pictures
did watch
just surfaced of that thing.
yeah.
I did watch
It's a
an
rough
interview where he touched on it briefly and said, told kind of, barely touched on the story, and it said the only thing that made him feel as bad is when Adam died.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
You're right.
He draws a parallel between the two of them.
Yeah, that is true. All right, gentleman number 6, Jason. What is your high end for a kit? As far as how much money will you spend on a kit where you say, I'm not buying that?
It depends. So I will say, I generally, if it's something rare, I kind of try and cap myself at about $200.
Yeah.
But like the one that is my holy grail, if that's what we're going to call it, is the Mopar Missile. That's the 73 Duster kit, Don Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably spend $350 for it if it was in good shape and I didn't have to strip it.
Does Brenda know about that?
Oh yeah, she knows. She knows.
She ain't watching it. Just tell her we're not doing this tonight.
Oh, she knows. She just shakes her head. She
I know.
like the Hobby Lobby thing the other night. I filled her cart up
I know.
full.
Yeah.
She's just
I
like,
know. I laughed about that. I was like,
They're gonna go get another cart, honey. This one's full.
yeah, go get another cart, Bo. How about you, Brucey? How much would you spend? What's your
I
top
have
end?
spent as much as $50 for one.
Okay.
It was the Star Trek Enterprise with the lighting kit that I wanted.
That's not a car.
oh, nice.
I know it's not a car, but you didn't
Wow.
specify what kind of model.
You're right. Okay, Pappy, you better be specific.
But mostly, I'm the Hobby Lobby guy.
Yeah.
40% off.
Or clearance,
know,
like we've all been to clearance this week, ain't we?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, boy.
No,
You ain't been yet? Oh my god!
I have not.
I'm a bad influence.
You are.
Me
are.
too.
I
know.
ran down there after I saw your video. I ran down there, and if I'd have known
Man,
that
me
hideaway truck was on
Twice.
sale, I'd have bought every one of them they had. But
too.
Yeah, I was there again today, so it's been a total of 18 kits.
Oh my god!
I told Jason, I said, well, I went to Hobby Lobby this morning. I spent all my Acme money I had saved up.
We're going to have to box you up and bring you down here today.
Start a GoFundMe page.
Yeah. Mikey, how about you?
let's re-ask the question again. I think I halfway forgot the question. Chasing so many rabbits.
What's your top price, or what's your top money for a kit that you would spend?
I'm going to use two examples. We had Rick and Jim from JR Salvino's on the show a couple weeks ago now, and they're talking about a multimedia kit, the Jim Clark Lotus. They said that's going to be north of 200 or in the 200. I would happily pay that for a kit like that, because you're talking about copper, brass, or whatever, and then resin, and then styrene, and all those different medias mixed together. So I can see the value in that. The two things, there's two of them left that are my holy grails that I would spend probably north of $300 for. If you guys remember back in the day, MPC came out with the Super Stalker series. If you're not familiar with it, they've re-released the GTO, they've re-released the Monte Carlo. They have not re-released the CUDA, which I do own, and they have not re-released the Jegs Camaro or the Dick Trickle Mustang. So the Mustang and the Camaro are the two that I don't have in my collection. And depending on condition, let's just say box open, never built, I would probably, depending on how rich I felt when I found it, I would probably pay north of $300 for each of those kits if I could get them.
Well, Bruce, I'm going to pull one out of your page, and I know we didn't say specifically, we just said a kit.
Yes, you did.
And if y'all want to go back, rewatch my video about about Jason's where I showed my stash and all my 67 Chevelle kits, I might add. If you'll go back through there is one that I have been searching for years, and it ain't a car kit. Tamiya, however you want to say it. Tamiya. Which y'all know I work for Delta Airline. And I like air. I do build aircraft. It's occasional. I've got a Tamiya 143rd scale F4U Corsair. I love that plane. I've always loved that plane, and it's
a nice plane.
It's the bird cage one. And me and Vicky went. We took a little weekend sabbatical and went to Gatlinburg, North Carolina. But right outside of Gatlinburg, there's we go through Knoxville, and there was a hobby town up there. And I pull through there. And I was like, hey. There's a shoe store right next door to Hobby Town USA. You want to stop? Yeah. Okay. So she goes to the shoe store. I go to the Hobby Town. I gotta play them cards.
Great.
But I walked in there, and guess what? Guess what's sitting there? The 148 scale Tamiya, whatever you want to say it, F4U Corsair bird cage, had all the bells and whistles, $125 flat.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid it happily,
Mm-hmm.
and come walking out with that, and Vicky's comes walking out with her shoe boxes. I'm saying, yes, my
Yeah,
God.
right.
About the same
Yeah,
price. Yep.
yeah, about the
We're
same.
good.
But yeah, we're good. But yeah, that was. But I've spent. That was on a. I wouldn't say that's the. I wouldn't say that's the most. I think I paid. I think I paid 150 for something. I think it was a Tamiya Enzo Ferrari. It was one of the Enzo Ferrari kits
Ooh,
that
nice.
I
Yeah.
showed the other day. And I have two of them. One's got all the bells and whistles in it. The other one's kind of a lower end Tamiya kit. But one of these days I'll build them. Anywho, number 7, Jason. What is the most you have ever spent for a kit? I think you just said that, but how much have you spent for one?
The most I've spent is $200, and that's for a 74 Duster kit that is literally virgin. It's open, but it's a virgin body.
Mm-hmm.
So it
How
was
about
at a swap meet, and the guy knew it. I thought I was going to get it for $20. He's like, nope. He goes, I
reeled you
know what
in,
this is
did
worth. Yep.
he?
And he says, and you got that black one over there, huh? And I go, yep. He goes, yep. This should be in your collection.
Yep, you need this. There you
You
go.
need this.
How about you, Bruce? The Enterprise?
The Enterprise was the only one I ever. Well, I did buy 3 model kits once. I spent $75 for,
Okay.
but it was
That's 25.
basically some old Chevy wagons, like kind of like the one I just
Yeah,
showed.
like one you just showed. Yeah.
And they were all glue bombs, but
Mhm.
they had a bunch of parts that I wanted. So
Mhm.
that was back years ago when I was rich and famous.
Richard, I do gotta ask though, what did you
Oh my
pay for
God.
that Chevy wagon there, that old box? What did you pay for that kit when you first bought it?
I was
Let's
thinking
make
they
us
had the
all
price
cry.
tag on it. They don't have the price tag on it.
I bet there ain't no UPC code on that.
Oh no!
It was
There was a
probably
Ben
less than
Franklin.
$3.
Yeah.
Probably.
There was a 5 and dime store on Main Street in Vincennes, Indiana, and we would go there on Saturdays because they had Saturday sidewalk sales.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Tressler's 5 and dime, and they had model kits in there, and mostly we spent $1 a quarter, and we got 2 bottles of paint, which was 3 cents a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
I remember them a quarter.
Yeah. I have some here on my counter. I was telling Jason the other day, they're 3 cents.
Yeah.
Most of them's 5 cents.
Yeah.
Still good to this day because I've opened them and
Mhm.
revitalized them with some thinner.
Yeah. All right,
But,
Mike.
yeah,
How much is what have you spent the most on?
I'm going back to that Super Stalker series, talking about the CUDA
That
that
one?
I do
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
That's the one I paid the most for. I paid $325 for that kit. I have kits here that I paid less for that are worth more money. I got some
Yeah.
of the old Johan stuff that I paid less for that's worth more money, but that's the one I paid the most for. Had to have it, that body style. I mean, it's an MPC kit, right? I mean, the axle shafts are molded, the axles molded into the chassis, but that body, you can't get that body for that CUDA with the flared fenders and for that dirt track look.
Yeah.
So I paid it, and I ain't proud of that, but I did it because you couldn't find it
You did
anywhere
it.
else.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's all a
I
matter of what you
paid
want.
I paid 100 I paid 140 for that Tamiya Enzo Ferrari, but it's got photo etch, it's got resin, it's got a aftermarket set of tires and wheels that goes on it too. So it was $140 for that one. And then I paid pretty good penny for that Tamiya F4U Corsair. So, it's really depends on how bad. Number one, how bad do you want it?
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you what I'll tell you what, this is what's great about this community, and I've been on both ends where somebody's been wanting something, and if I've got it in my stash and I know I ain't gonna build it, I'll send it to them. This man sitting right over here, prime example, and I've been a recipient of several times on this, and Mike knows what I'm fixing to say. We were at JacksCon this year, and we were going down we was walking down the aisles, and I was just like, I found the AMT. I forget what year model. What year model was it? The
I
454
think it's
SS.
it's the 454 SS
It's
for sure.
454
the
SS kit. The
square
black.
body truck.
Yeah. The black box, the OBS one. So
Yeah.
I was just like, man, and walking down through there, and I'd already asked the guy. I already seen the price on it. I was like, I'm not paying that. And I kept trying to do I was trying to do a bundle deal, and the guy never was. He wouldn't bite on that. And I finally, me and Mike was standing there, and I asked him. This was the last time I asked him. I said, I want to do a bundle, and he wasn't going to bite that. And I was just like, forget it. So I walked off. About 10 minutes later, I'm over at the model table, and Mike comes up. He says, "Happy birthday, Pappy!" And it was the 454 SS kit. I was like, I know how much that was worth. Just happy birthday. Which my
Yeah, that's
birthday was
cool.
Friday. My birthday was Friday. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now,
But
the
but that
backstory behind that is my friend from Steve from Scale Model Society. He's
yeah.
a very good friend of mine, and I think he lives over on the East Coast, Ormond Beach, or in that area over there. And I've bought a lot of wheels. He does build some great 3D printed wheels and whatnot. And you walked off that last time, and I walked over. I'm like, Steve, what's up? And I had already bought 4 kits from him. I had bought that Chattanooga Chew NASCAR that produced
Yeah,
the Buick
yeah,
or the Pontiac,
yeah,
and I had bought a bunch of stuff from him. And I'm like, listen, my guy's got to have this. What do you have on it? Like 35, $45 or something?
yeah. I
I mean,
think it was
he didn't gift it to me, but he cut me a heck of a deal where I could
good.
afford
Well,
to give it to him for his
I
birthday.
appreciate it. And I mean,
Cool.
that's again, that's Mike was generous with that, and I greatly appreciate it. Terry Brownlee, T2, Terry 2. I've always wanted that Gasser Corvette 1/16th scale, I think is what it is, or 12th scale, maybe 12th scale. But anyhow, I've always wanted that one. And one year, not this last year at Acme, but the year before that, Terry gifted me that one that I've got, and I'm like, boy,
And that's a
man,
I remember
valuable,
that.
it
very
is,
valuable kit. Yeah.
yeah.
Is
So
that the rod shop one?
Yep.
yeah, Rod
Okay.
Shop. Thank you, Jason. I can remember the box art, what it was called, but it's the Rod Shop one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
That's
So,
cool car.
all right, number 8. All right, we're out of the money now. We're all broke. We're all broke. We can't even
We're all broke now.
We can't even afford rub nickels. We can't even buy paint now. So, number 8. All right, this is a good one right here. This is one I told Vicky a while ago because she knows I know what you're going to tell. So, have you ever been recognized at a model show or a hobby shop due to having a YouTube channel? Jason,
No, no.
Bruce.
I think I'm too new.
I've never been to a model show. But I will.
You
How about
have
I know you've been to a hobby shop. You ain't been noticed
Yeah.
at a hobby.
Nope.
Mike, how about you?
Well, the first thing I want to say is Jason and Bruce, when you guys come to Acme, you're going to get recognized.
You will be
Yeah,
recognized.
You will be
Trust me.
recognized. Yes, I have, and it was so flattering. And I come from a one-to-one world where I've had it happen, with Jeeps. People come up, oh man, I saw your Jeep, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But the first time it ever happened to me was at Pam's Con, and it was
Hmm.
Chris from Chris's House of Plastic.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Good.
never
Oh, yeah.
forget it. I'll never forget. I was
Wow.
actually I was telling you about Steve from the
Yeah.
guy that had the kit. I was
Yeah.
buying wheels from him, and I kept seeing that in my peripheral vision. Now I had never been approached, right? And I was early on in the YouTube thing, and Chris was standing there. I turned around. He's like, "You the outlaw?" I'm like, "It depends."
I don't know why.
Do
Do I owe you
you have
money?
a subpoena or something? Because if so, no.
I didn't
He's like,
touch
"No,
her,
it's
I
Chris."
swear.
No, my name's Joe Blow. But no, it was Chris from Chris House of Plastic. And it was
Wow.
awkward at first, but it's like they're because I did that to you, Fred. When I first met you, I was and Brian. We tend to forget that they're just people too, right? So,
We
but
are.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was really cool. And now when I do, I don't get recognized like a lot of people do, but when I do, I try to talk to them and hang out with them and have fun with them
Yeah.
and enjoy their company as well. And Chris
Yeah.
and I have become very good friends from
That's
that
awesome. Yeah,
introduction.
that is. Uh, Yes, for me. Yeah, I know. Vicky, I got the door closed. So I know she's probably sitting there going, "I know your answer," but yeah, I had been on. I'd been on YouTube not a pretty good while after this, but I went to Hobbytown, USA, Kennesaw, right up 30 minutes up the road. Well, I'm standing there in the model section looking. I'm looking at kits, and there's on the other side of the counter over there. You know when somebody's kind of gawking at you like, and then I'm sitting there going, I'm starting to reach back here going, is my pistol showing or something? I'm like,
Yeah.
shit. I'm in a hobby shop with a pistol on my hip, but still, but finally they come around and they go, "You're Pappy from Western from YouTube." I was like, "Yeah, I am," and of course, you kind of get the big head, but you don't. I don't. I try not to. I try to be down to earth because, before I was building, I was nobody, and I'm still nobody. But, and the weirdest thing I did have at a model show last year. I tell you where I was at. I was at Spartanburg, South Carolina. I ain't gonna mention who it was. Guy comes up and he has the contest magazine, which one of my builds was in there, and he's like, "Will you autograph this?" And I'm like, "I ain't got a pen." I wasn't prepared, but I said, "Let me get a pen. I'll be glad to." So whenever I found a Sharpie, I autographed the picture for him on that. And there were several others, that was in the contest magazine that he had found them, and I'm sitting there going, "Is this guy a stalker?" Where's my pistol at? We got to make sure.
That's really a cool idea, though, if you think about it. If you take that book and take it over to builders that you see at a show and have them sign next to their model, that'd be
Sure, that's
kind
a
of
great
cool.
idea.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Smart.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get recognized at shows, and it's cool. But I keep it real, keep it down to earth. They want to talk, they want to, pick your mind, all that. I'm all about that because,
Yeah.
but
Me too.
that's the fun of it. So
I get the there's the thumbs up guy. That's the
yeah.
thumbs up guy.
I always tell Vicky. I'll look at Vicky. I'll look at her sometimes, and I'll go, "Ain't it hell just being married to what do you call a social influencer?"
Yeah.
She just looks at me and goes,
Ooh, big words.
"Don't you ever say that in front of me."
Right.
I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, but she said, "Don't you tell people about that." Okay. Oh goodness. All right, number 9. Jason, we all have a Grail kit, which we have talked about. Would you build it if you had it, or keep it as a keepsake?
100% build it. If I'm gonna pay north of $300, I'm building it. I'm building it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Bruce?
Same thing.
Build it.
If I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna build it.
Build
Yeah.
it.
I don't care.
We ain't collectors, are we?
Yes, but no, it's plastic.
Yes. No. Yeah.
True.
I collect them until I build them.
Yeah, collect to build them. Yeah. But you, Mike?
Same thing. I'm with Jason and Bruce. I'm building it, and chances are, especially because I've told you that my 2 Grail kits are that Camaro and that Mustang from the Super Stalkers, and they weren't great models to begin with. Not only am I going to build it, but I'm going to modify it. I'm going to get a better chassis. I'm going to get better tires. I'm going to get a better motor. And when I get all done with it, I might just use the body and the basic interior out of it. But yeah, I'll pay that money to have for that and not build it.
Yeah.
Stock. Now there may be some out there that I would build stock. I've got the AMC stuff like the old Matadors and that sort of thing. I got that 3-in-1 kit, which is the van, the Matador, and the trailer. I would build that stock because it's already a race team thing anyway,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
maybe upgrade the wheels or something. But
It's
other than
nostalgic. Yeah.
that, yeah.
I've got some in my stash, which, y'all seen a pretty good amount of my stash other than, the other 20 67 Chevelle per street side that didn't show. But I've got a few Grail kits in my stash, some that have some been gifted to me, which we talked about the Corvette rod shop that T2 gifted me. I'm gonna build that sucker, and I guarantee you, it's not gonna be a gasser either, guys. It's gonna be a full on blown big block Chevy fire eating Pro Street. So, because
Could
I
put-
know
Put
people.
a Hemi in it.
I know, like I said, I know people's.
Those people.
I know
Yeah, people.
people's. I know lots of
I
people.
feel like the kid from Home Alone. Who thunk it? Fred built a Pro Street? Oh my God, who thunk it? Who thunk it?
Who would have thought that?
I know he
Oh,
won't
God.
use that chassis out of the '67 Chevelle because it won't.
No, that sucker ain't gonna fit. But I
It
know
won't fit in
people's.
there.
I know people's that can makes it fits
Yes, you
with the
do.
bigger motors too, and the tires and the wheels and the things like that.
And all this stuff.
Yeah, isn't that the truth, Bruce? All right, gentlemen. Final one, number 10. Jason, what is your one model show that you have not attended, but you want to attend?
I probably got 2. I would like to go to the Detroit Modelers, that big show that they have up there.
Yeah, the damn show.
Yep, the Dam Show, and definitely Acme. Acme, I think, is really the pinnacle of all of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like all the NNLs, so I went to NNL North last year. That was probably my first big show, but I think Acme is the cream of the crop. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Since I'm an Acme member too, and we take pride in that show. And I was hoping you was going to be able to make it last year. And when Mike told me that Jason's not going to be able to make it, I was like, crap. I was like, man, I was looking forward to meeting you. And I was wanting to do this, getting y'all down here to do 10 questions. But, well, we're just 3 months late.
we'll be there we'll be there this year.
Awesome. How about you, Bruce?
Yeah, Acme's my big number one thing on my list. It's the only one I've ever going to be to.
Yeah.
Because I got to drive many miles to go to one around here where I live in a little bitty sticks, and we pipe sunshine in, and there's no model clubs here or anything. You got to drive 150 miles to go somewhere. So
Yeah.
Acme is my Grail.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to having you and Jason down here. How about you there, Mr. Mike?
Well, after scratching Acme off my Grail list last year and now adding it to my going every darn year list, I think there's a lot of little shows I'd like to go to. I know that Hope It Don't Snow show. There's a lot of them in the Carolinas that I really like to go to. But I would say that the one that I really would like to go to is NNL East in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that is a massive show. Jason Hanscom from Blue Ox Model Shop has been there a few times.
Yep.
And I've got some friends that, we all know Frank Steffens.
Mm-hmm.
Frank goes to that show, and it's an IPMS show. So I would say that would be the one that's on my list. I'm trying to get there this year, but it's not looking very good for me.
Yeah.
It's at the end of April, and unless somebody gifts me a huge birthday present, I probably won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I tell you, it's that. And honestly, I'm gonna piggyback off that too. NNL East is one that I really want to. I really want to attend. I've been invited to it several times. Which was it last year? I think it was last year. It might have been the year before that. I know BG and Linda and Jason and who else went? I can't remember. But anyhow, they was all wanting me to come up there at that time too. And it just wasn't in the cards for us. But it's definitely NNL East for me as well. I really do want to go to that one. And I know Matt and Brian and Chuck, they've invited me to go out to the one out there on the left coast, out there with them. And hopefully I can get to that one as well. You'd figure a guy that, works for, the probably the biggest airline, it would be flying the world. No, guess what? We're busy.
Busy working on it.
We're busy working on the stuff. So just like I shared with y'all a little while ago, got to stay late today, Fred. What the hell you say?
Right.
But, oh, Jesus. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. Anybody got anything?
I got one. So, you've probably seen it on our show, but I'd like to hear your list of the top 5 manufacturers, model kit manufacturers that you like.
Is Fred froze?
I think he is, isn't
He froze
I
up.
think he did.
Oh.
You froze him.
She,
He's frozen.
He's in shock.
Vicky came in and hit him on the head.
All right. Now we're
Okay,
good.
there you are. You
There
froze.
you are.
Man, I had to check, make sure we paid the cable bill.
Man, that was a hell of a question.
Boy, you ain't kidding. All right, Jason, let's try this again. Let's see,
All right.
we're still recording. There we go. Yeah.
So we've done this on the show before. We've talked about our 5 top manufacturers. Let's hear your list of what your top 5 manufacturer model kits would be.
Wow, good question. Reveal, number 1.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'd put Tamiya up there at a second. Basically, because you can pretty much well throw glue, paint in a box, shake it, and you're going to get what you got coming out of it.
Yep.
Would I be?
Oh, he froze again. He must have storm coming in already.
Yeah.
Oh, that time he had a funny face. Look at that face.
Yeah.
You know he's going to edit that out. He won't leave
That's
that in
almost,
there.
that's almost like that shop
He just-
card.
Right, he just looks like he ate a persimmon.
He just bit into a lemon.
Right?
Yeah. Woo. Or what was that smell?
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a
All right,
rhino?
there we go.
He's
Anywho,
back.
all right, we're back. We're going to have to probably try to kill this one here in a minute, but definitely Reveal, Tamiya, AMT would be my third one. Lindbergh would be my fourth, and yeah, Lindbergh, definitely a Lindbergh, and
Like
5. Gosh, I'm having a brain fart right now. 5. Tamiya, Reveal, Tamiya, MPC. Did I say MPC?
No, you said
Yeah, MPC would be the very last.
last.
Yeah. Why? Because their molds are so, sometimes they're hit and miss. You get flash,
Yeah.
you don't. But definitely that would be my top 5. It'd be a Reveal, Tamiya, Lindbergh, AMT, MPC.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Now the show question: what color wires?
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
except for the one I'm fixing to build here. I got on the bench. It's gonna have blue ones on there, but it's because it's going to be a period correct. And Matt Lucas C's already sent me pictures of that, so I have to use blue ones. If I was kidding, I was going to use yellows. But no, this one's going to have blue, but it's always going to be yellows for me.
Nice.
Well, I've got one for you, Mr. Fred. You've been in the hobby, been on the YouTube for quite some time. You go to a lot of shows. You've met and hung out with a lot of different people and done a lot of different things. I understand that you started in your youth and been doing it and did your military career and here you are back in it again. My question to you is, what are your top 3 model moment memories?
Top 3. Top 3 would have been the first time I ever had an award at a show. I brought home, it was for a orange 55 F100 kit that I called Double Knuckle. I won best Ford at a model show. It was at the Echoic Model Car Classic up in Cleveland, Tennessee. The second one would have been the first time I ever had one of my builds in a magazine, which was Scale Auto magazine. I was working on a 49 Mercury Reveal kit at the time of my dad's passing. That particular car I was working on it when he passed away, and that was the first kit first model I ever had put in Scale Auto magazine, and very proud of that one. And I guess the pinnacle for the number 3 for me would be winning top 10 in Atlanta.
That's
I
cool.
knew that one. I knew that one was going to be in the mix somewhere. I didn't know where it was going to fit, but
2019. Just man, I was shocked when they called my name out for winning top 10 at Atlanta. So that would be my three.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
But anything else?
No, I'm good.
I'm good too.
We're good.
But before my, I had to swipe a credit card to get this thing to quit buffering. So I don't know.
I figured you got weather coming in.
I may have.
mean, it's dark through your window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
Finally,
light, too.
well, yeah, it's finally gotten dark here. What time is it right here? It's 8:30. It's supposed to be dark here, but anyhow. But gentlemen, I greatly appreciate y'all's time. I hope everybody has enjoyed this. Sorry for the buffering, which I doubt. I don't edit. This is one take Sally right here. So
Yeah, really,
You're going to hear our comments then, aren't you?
yeah, we're gonna get a lot of comments. Pappy, in about 1 hour, I know.
the first time you froze up, it wasn't too bad. You had a decent look on your face. The second time looked like you bit into a persimmon.
Yeah.
That wasn't what all we said, but yeah, I suppose.
Oh God. Yeah.
I like real.
That'll just that's keeping it real right there. But anyhow, all right, folks. I'm gonna drop the names and numbers and everything. We wrote Mikey's number down in the bathroom over here, so
Right, for a good
call
time.
him. But if y'all are not subscribed to any of these awesome content creators, Jason down here at KRD Custom, Bruce at Bruce's Electric World, and Mini Mike over here with the Scale Model Outlaw, I'm gonna drop their I'll drop their channels into the comments down here. Not the comments, but the down here in the little box down here. You know, that little thing that y'all never look at.
Yeah.
But if y'all ain't subscribed to them, get subscribed to them. Awesome content creators and awesome builders as well.
Thank
Folks,
you.
as I always say, if you can dream it, Mini Mike, what do?
You can build it.
Roger
Build
that.
it. No matter how much it costs.
No matter how much it costs.
costs.
Right. I'm not telling Brenda how much we paid on our kids.
Ain't
Don't
gonna
tell
She's
no
not
price.
telling you how much you paid
because
for her shoes. So.
I told Vicky I only paid $1.44 for that. Anyhow.
The decimal point was in the wrong spot.
Isn't that the truth? Appreciate everybody. As I always say, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah.
Gals. See y'all later.